So this is a question based on Pascal's principle. And Pascal's principle is when we have two cylinders, one is going to have pressure placed on it. That will put force through a liquid that will then put force on a second piston. And in this case, it says the force in the first cylinder is 220 newtons with a surface area of 0.12 meters squared. And then the larger piston has a much larger surface area, and I want to find out the force. Remember, the whole point of this is to be able to apply a smaller force in order to get a larger force out of the system. It basically makes the whole thing a little more efficient. So how does this work? Well, remember, Pascal's principle is basically just a ratio. Because of the fact the pressure created on one piston will evenly distribute through the system to the other piston, all we need is a ratio. So the force on the first one based on its area is equal to the force on the second piston based on its area. By changing the area, we automatically change the force. So it tells me that the force I'm going to apply is 220 newtons. And the area of that particular piston, that small piston, is 0.12 meters squared. I want to know what is the force on the second piston if it has this larger area, which will change the amount of force because the pressure is the same. The pressure on this one and the pressure on this one will be identical because the pressure just evenly distributes through the liquid between the two pistons. Now to solve this, you can use the Z pattern if you're a Z pattern person. I cross multiply, I admit. So I'm going to cross multiply these two things and I will get 0.12 times the second force on one side. And then I'm going to cross multiply these two things. So 220 times 3 will give me 660 on this side. And then I just have to divide it out. I'm going to divide this 0.12 over to the other side because remember, when we have multiply on one side, we move it over, we will divide. So basically I will divide 660 by 0.12. And that will give me my final answer. My final answer being 5,500 newtons. And of course, that's what I'm going to write in my therefore sentence. And you can see I get much more force because I have a different area. This is just utilizing the fact that the pressure is even throughout the liquid.